Evaluation 7 is all about showing the progression between my preliminary task and my opening scene. I would say it's around a 6-month difference of work, basically, having to show you like how my style of editing, sound, mise-en-scene, location has changed. So on the laptop here I have got my preliminary task up and my opening scene. So I'll basically be playing both of them at the same time, or like a similar time, so that I can see all the different shots, all the different timings and the music and all them, and say my personal opinions on how I think I've progressed in them 6 months basically so far. Now, already as I've opened them up, I can see that they both started off differently. My opening scene starts off with my production distribution company coming up straight away, whilst my preliminary task already straight away gets into the story. So, on my preliminary task, I straight away get match on action, whilst my opening scene starts off with an establishing shot to show people where we are and what is happening.
Still can't find.
We have a voiceover on Forsaken, and after each shot we get like a black screen with font fading on top. Whilst for the preliminary task it goes into an interview scene.
With Lauren Chapman taking place on Monday the 24th of October 2016. Lauren, do you understand your rights?
Yes.
There is music on my opening scene, like a piano, simple sound going throughout all of it, whilst the preliminary task is a simple interview conversation at the start. But what I've noticed now is, on the preliminary task, the camera quality isn't the best, but that was our choice. We chose a different camera from the first time compared to the opening scene. So I remember when we were filming this, we used a tripod and the camera, and what happened was it was either the camera or the tripod, but it was kind of stiff, so it was making these cracking noises every time I moved it, like every time I was focusing in, focusing out, and moving it from side to side. So you can actually hear it in the preliminary task, which is slightly annoying. Like, I didn't like it at first, but we just left it because we thought there's no point of reshooting this again. That was the best we got from our actors at the time. Actors, I would say personally, have got better, but I think that is because there's a lot less talking in our opening scene compared to our preliminary task. Preliminary task of ours is basically full of talking, like we are explaining the whole plot, whilst for the opening scene there's a little bit less talking. Like, we have got a voiceover, but it's just basically saying like there's no food, there's no water, we're basically dying. Interview scene, I have noticed that we do have a lot more shots. Whilst for my opening scene, what I've got is about, let's say about 5 shots basically in between all of my front stops. And they are like, they do move around quite a lot, whilst when I look at my preliminary task, it does look like I have put in more effort with my camera shots. But I know that at the time it was because we had requirements for what kind of shots we needed, whilst for our opening scene we didn't have any requirements, and because it was outdoors as well that we were doing it, to show like how deserted the place was, we couldn't exactly do match on action specifically and shots similar to that. I do like in my opening scene the objects that we use, like the binoculars that we use, because they do look really nice and I like how you can see through them, and it's a nice point of view shot. And I don't think we had any like really nice shots that were point of view in our preliminary task that stood out to me, that made me feel proud of them. Oh, the voiceover started. So what I've noticed already now is the voiceover for the preliminary task.
Does her son know how much pain he has
we're
put us all
talking
through?
too close to the
That's when I
microphone,
saw
so you
him
can hear
there.
the
I saw her son
all the
looking
time.
happy.
It's like you're spitting down the
reminded me how I'll
microphone.
never be
It's
that
not very
happy again.
clear. It's loud.
I took some chloroform to put him to
I don't know,
sleep.
it bothers
and
me
it did the trick.
personally, so
He
I
was much
prefer
heavier than he
my
looked.
opening scene voiceover, and I really like the way that I've done it, because what I did when I edited my opening scene was I put in the voiceover and I split it apart into like little sections, so like only a few words at a time. So like there was a few words in the first shot, then it was the break with the font, and then it went back, and then it back to voiceover, and then I kept doing it until he finished the sentence. Yeah, the voiceover was terrible for the preliminary test. That you can hear even how he's breathing. It's just really not nice at all. And I would personally say that some of the shots on my preliminary task, they were really, really quick, and you can't, like it's just going to the next one, like, to show all of them. But I do remember at the time, my preliminary task was one of the longest ones in my classes, and I felt like I really needed to close mine down a bit more and cut them off. Whilst for my opening scene, I tried to avoid doing that mistake, but I did the opposite basically by making it a little too short. So I didn't end up finding anything to help me be in the middle. There's slight of a match on action. I don't know how to describe that. I'd say it's a match on action. Some people might not. It's on my opening scene where like the male actor picks up the apple. Like you can see him standing up. He's going to like pick it up, and then the camera zooms in of his hand like picking up. Like I would call that a match on action, but I don't know if it is or not specifically. But I do like that shot, wherever it is meant to be from us. What I like about the preliminary task is obviously the voiceover. It's explaining the whole story, so it's telling you the narrative. And what I do really love is our narrative for the preliminary task. Even when we were thinking of ideas for our opening scene, we said our narrative for the preliminary task is going to be so much better compared to our opening scene, because we just love the idea. But I think it is because of the genre. We were wanting to always do a thriller themed opening scene, but because we got the genre as post-apocalyptic, we did struggle with thinking of ideas. So we couldn't do anything about it really. Like what happened, and it's not too bad. Can't complain. Like we can definitely see how much we've improved. Location wise, I feel like my opening scene just fits perfectly, and I am really happy with it myself. And then the preliminary task, it does match, but I feel like we could have chosen a better place, perhaps. I don't know why. I just feel like it's just a bit. Oh yeah, let's go there. It's close. A nice point of view shot on my opening scene.
Did you hear that?
We're starting to get into the action now for the opening scene, and I do like how we've basically gone from shooting the bad guy and like moving to the victims. So I do like the way that we have done that. Whilst for the preliminary test, I've just noticed that the sound has completely changed. It's just gone through a voiceover, and instead of blending the sound, which I didn't think of at the time, it's just started straight away, and it's really loud, and it's really bothering me. Do like the music style. I was really happy with choosing the song that I chose, but I'm not happy with the way that I just put it on. Like I should have blended it out. Oh, I have just noticed now, my opening scene, when the bad guy runs away, I think I don't think I should have sped it up too much. I'd say it's a little too quick, the way that she's running. Oh well. Whilst for the preliminary task, we're basically on to the action bit now. Like, she's dropped the child, she's putting him in a black bin bag, he's dead. And then for the opening scene, what I am really, really glad that we did was like the flashbacks, going back in time, like showing the life that that person had. Like, and I feel like I represented it in a really nice way. I love the idea that we all thought of with like having the eye, because like I don't know, apparently obviously when you die you like see a white light. So what I did was obviously like did a shot of the eye, faded it white afterwards, and then started doing my memories. And as I did the faded to white thing as well, I made like well, I didn't make it, like I put in a whoosh noise, so it's obvious that we're going back in time, and I am really, really happy with the way that went. And what I also did as well was I left the flashbacks in colour, so the colour makes it look like they are all happy, and I am happy myself with that as well. I do like the location from my preliminary task towards the end, from around 1 minute 55, it does start getting really good. Like, I really love that location. Like, it was nearby, but I feel like it does fit what we wanted, and I am still happy with the way that the ending of my preliminary task was shown. And I do really like the shot that we did through the bushes, looking at the person that's killed the child in our preliminary task. I feel like we should have done something like that for the opening scene. Like, we have done something similar with the binoculars, but I feel like we could have presented it slightly better. We could have had depth of field with it, and we could have had the rule of thirds with it as well. So I'm thinking about it now, like, I know what I can improve on if I could do it again. The music's just instantly stopped on my preliminary task, like, it's just cut off, it's not blended, and it's gone back to the voiceover. No, I don't like that at all. I do like the GoPro. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like maybe the location towards the end of my preliminary task could have been good for my opening scene, and I do really like the idea of having the GoPro in our preliminary task too. Like, it is a really dark location in that little forest that we filmed in. Like, we could have used the GoPro again. We could be running around loads of places there. It's in the middle of a field. It does look deserted. There's graffiti there, so we could show like there was conflict in the past, which is why it's like all deserted, and that's why it's a post-apocalyptic film. But I think we did think of actually doing that, but what we didn't want to do is film in the same place. Well, I can't really complain, because I am happy with the place that we did for our opening scene, but thinking about it now, I'm thinking, ooh, actually that one could have been good then. Because some of the shots in our preliminary task I am really, really happy with. Oh, what? I did not do that. I really, really hope that was a mistake. But what I have noticed basically is that my film finishes about 2 minute 15-ish, basically, 2 minute 14 or 13, like somewhere in between them. Like, the edit that I put on is like these like lines closing in, so it turns into a black screen. And I'm pretty sure at the time I was like taking the mick out of it and laughing like, look at how stupid this edit is. And I actually left it by accident, and that's really embarrassing. So it looks really, really childish. And then for the next like 14 seconds, there's nothing on it. So I cleared it and cut it down. So it's just a bit of a waste of 10 seconds of your life, thinking that this is going to be something else going on, but there's not. So apologies for that. Whilst for the Forsaken, I do really like the ending. Like, I like the convention of having the gloves and putting them on and showing the person like going to get what they want, the keys. And I do like my music, but I also do at the same time, like, I like them, I like the music, but then what I was thinking of, why don't I change it? Because why is it sad when the victim's coming on? But then I kept getting like feedback off my teachers, and all of my friends were saying like, no, leave it, it's fine, it's fine. But I am thinking like, I probably wouldn't have been able to find something really quickly, because I was starting to get into a rush when I was editing towards the end. Just because like we had to reshoot as well for our opening scene on another day, because some shots weren't clear enough. And what we did was we used another camera as well, so you can't actually see on our opening scene that we used 2 different cameras, which is slightly disappointing, but at least we know for if we ever do anything like this again, or like for next year, at least we'll know what camera we prefer, which is the Canon 1000D that we do prefer the quality of more compared to the Canon 1300D. We did also use a different camera basically for the preliminary task. The interview scene is made with the Canon 1100D, whilst the rest of it is made with like the Samsung camera. I can't remember what it is now. And hated the quality of that one, and it just was so difficult to use as well. So we know now what camera we are happy with, so our films, or like our music videos, whatever it is next year that we're doing, best be good. So, thinking about it now, like, I can see how much I have improved, music-wise, editing-wise, font-wise. It has improved. I could say shot-wise, there weren't as many good shots compared to our preliminary task. But I think it was because of the location, we did struggle. But I can't blame the location, it was our choice, the way that we did it. Like, it is better, because of what I said, like what's improved. I'm not like, yes, it's amazing, but I'm not thinking, oh, that was terrible, like, that's embarrassing, I don't want to look at it again. But what happened, and I can't complain. I am still happy with it at the end of the day. And hopefully, if anything, this will make me grow as a person and get my media a lot better. Like, my blog, I would say I am very, very happy with my blog. If anything, the opening scene has made me lose a slight bit of confidence. But at least now I've learned from my mistakes, and hopefully when I do media next year as the full A level, it will hopefully be better, and I will try my best to improve. So yes, that